Yeah, I'm a little early, guys. Well, I normally go live. Hello, good morning. Well, I was just going to talk about some of the crap that I've been seeing in the news. It's about what I'm making this video about. Well, guys, I'm not going to be live near as much as I used to be. I'm not going to be doing near as much stuff as I used to do because not really no point in it. No, not really. You know, like I said, I'm not getting nothing out of this shit. So, just like most things, most people are not getting anything out of. They're not going to do much of it. I mean, honestly, not a whole lot of people willing to get involved in anything. I was talking to Dale Brock yesterday. I've talked to several other guys. We poured 3 years of our life in this and sold off our personal shit and spent thousands of dollars in our own money. And there's not enough people wants to get involved in this, try to do anything about what's going on. They want to sit here on social media and watch it, but they don't want to participate in any of it themselves. It's just like I think it Freedom Hard guy and Tammy Lee and Modell Reese and several Jermaine kid. They were all up there in Chicago the other day. Had to march up there. 50 people showed up, guys. 50 people. If you can't get no more than 50 people out of their damn house to show up for America, that means these people don't care about America. If they don't care enough to get out of the house, so why should you bother coming out doing something that they're not willing to do themselves? You know, I'm just saying it as it is, guys. So I'm just gonna sit back on my ass, and I'm gonna be the same way. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch the news, and I might make a few Facebook Live videos. In the meantime, I'm gonna take care of my life. Okay? Since there's not that many people out here that really gives a shit about nothing anymore, there's no sense in me putting my ass out there for people that don't give a damn. All right? Most of these Christians out here, they're fake ass Christians, they're feel good Christians. They don't give a shit. They just want to feel good. Most of these patriots out here are feel good patriots. They just want to feel good. But they're not going to get involved in anything because you're asking them to do something that takes them out of their little feel good comfort zone. We wouldn't want to do that now, would we? You know? So like I said, I'm not going to be doing shit. I'm going to sit back on my ass and I'm going to make a few live videos here and there until something massively happens enough that people in this country thinks it's important enough to actually start doing something again. Maybe another 9/11 style scenario. Think about it, guys. Honestly, why the hell should I be even doing this? How many other people are out here doing this? Not very damn many. There's millions of people in this country. I think 60 million people voted for Donald Trump, and there's probably not over 500 people in this country that'll even stand up for a damn thing from coast to coast. 500 when it all comes right down to it. And those same 500 to probably 750 has been going everywhere across this country standing for this shit out here. Well, everybody else sits around on social media and watches. The damn Confederates, there you go, Frankie. The damn Confederates swear an oath to defend their Southern heritage and their ancestors. I mean, out there actually defending, making good on this oath. that some of these organizations are a part of. Hell, you can count them on one hand. You can actually count them on one hand. Like I said, guys, I don't see no point in putting myself out anymore. Me and Dale Barks talked about it. We're not going to do much. No, we're not. No, we're not going to do much. We may do a few local things, but we're not going to do much until people decide that they need to be a part of something. That this shit out here is important enough for them to start playing a part. Because, like I said, you take big names like Tammy, Freedom Hard, Modell Reese, the Jermaine kid, more big name guys out here in this movement. All they could draw was 40 to 50 people. 40 to 50 people. Do you know how many of these events that I've seen here in the last year that didn't draw over 40 to 50 people? Just like Scotty and Jamie's event up there, the Christian event up there in West Virginia, to talk, and they were talking about basically them running poor people out of those apartment complexes, tearing them down and building them for these Muslim refugees and stuff. 50 people showed up to that. They should have been 1,500 people showed up to that, but no, there's only 50 people showed up to that. Yeah, that's honestly. Like I said, well, good deal, Christopher. I'm glad you did. Like Frankie Harper over here on YouTube. Frankie Harper's been to a lot of shit. He has. I mean, well, there's a difference in between a real movement and there's a difference in between a Facebook movement. You got to understand. Being behind a camera is not the same as being out on the street. It's not. That's the reason more people don't do it than what does. Yeah, Mel, but I do have the right to be upset. Being I think I figured it up the other day. I spent $17,000 of my own money in this shit. 17,000. How many of y'all willing to spend $17,000? How many of you got $17,000 to spend? Now, this is over a period of 3 years. But you know what, guys? For the money I've spent out here in this patriot movement, I could have a nice 4-wheel drive truck sitting out in my yard. And you know what? That's what most people chooses than the shit that I'm doing. They'll choose that 4-wheel drive pickup. That's the reason nothing ever changes, guys, is because they'll choose something like that over the top of trying to better their future or their country for their children or grandchildren. Honestly. So, like I said, I'm not going to be putting myself out anymore. Not going to do it, guys. Just letting y'all in on that. Not until people out here decides that this country's worth standing up for. The Christians decide God's worth standing up for. Because I'm tired of just a handful of people being the only damn ones that will stand for anything. You know, we've got all kinds of shit going on out here politically. All kinds of shit, guys. social media right now. I listened to Alex Jones last night, his rebroadcast, and he's correct that the social media giants are shutting down everybody with big accounts. And basically people, they run off memes anymore. Memes mean everything. Memes is what gets the message out. Why? Because memes feel good. Memes are a feel good type thing. Okay. Funny, ha ha ha. Everybody likes a meme. They won't really watch the news, but they'll damn sure pay attention to memes. And just like Alex Jones said, like listening to him, they have figured out that whoever is out here with a big following on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, so forth, if they take them out of the equation and they got millions of followers and they're generating these memes, they can take them out. They're pro-Trump people. They can take a big portion of voters out. If they can silence all the big Trump supporters on the right and have nothing but the pundits over there on the left talking cash shit about Trump and these memes, he can sway millions of votes. They done figured this out. It's like Google starting a war. They said, we're not going to let Trump win in 2020. Y'all not seen that? It's been on the news. They've made those statements. They have every ability to keep that from happening. I will tell you something. I just seen a while ago. I was up there, got a haircut. It's hot. Can't handle long hair in it. It's hot. I was up there in a barbershop, and had about a 70-year-old man up there. Work. I know the other guy. Didn't really know him, but I know the other guy. Heard near all my life. He goes, well, my man probably ain't gonna have a chance. I'm sitting there thinking, surely he ain't talking about Trump. Joe Biden's my man. Oh yeah, old Joe. Old Joe's 70 something. We've got to have somebody can work across the aisle with both sides. Now I'm sitting here thinking, really, old man, are you that far away from reality? Old Joe Biden of the day is not the old Joe Biden of yesteryear. Joe Biden is a political correct whore. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Some of these people out here that you've known or known of, they think a whole hell of a lot different than we do. And this guy here has worked his ass off all of his life because I know of him. Don't really know him, but I know of him. He's worked for every damn thing he got. Nobody handed him shit. But Joe Biden's his man. That's what you call an old school Democrat, guys. An old school Democrat. That's been voted Democrat all their damn life. And even though they worked their ass off all their life to get what they have and so forth and so on, they're still going to vote Democrat. No matter what. Even though they're actually more conservative than most of the damn conservatives out here that call themselves conservatives. But they still gonna vote Democrat. Ain't that crazy as hell? I think it is. Guys, we had a shooting out there in Gilroy, California yesterday. 3 people died, one was a 6-year-old boy. 12 wounded. He came there to kill white people. He was Italian and Iranian, but he came there to kill white people, is what I was told from witnesses that was there. Because yes, I've had some contact with people that was there. Came there to kill white people. There you go. Guys, that's what's disheartening as hell to me. is we have a pretty much a war on the front of civil unrest. I'm not going to say a civil war because you got to have enough people willing to actually fight to have a civil war. Well, we're in the sea. We ain't got enough people to do shit with. So you can't have a civil war until you actually have some people willing to fight. That's right, Kenneth Wallace. It was another gun-free zone in the state of California. He walked in there. All right. I mean, remember that, guys. When they start talking civil war, an actual civil war, we'll never actually have a civil war in this country because there's not enough people that will actually fight. They'll just knuckle down and they'll take it right up the ass before they ever try to fight. And I'm talking about conservatives, guys. I really am. Most of these conservatives out here, they are more pathetic than the damn liberals are. At least the liberals will fight, the conservatives won't. That means the liberals believe in something more than the conservatives do. Saying it as it is, guys. Conservatives ain't gonna fight unless somebody pays them to fight. They don't believe in nothing to fight for other than an almighty green dollar bill. If they ain't over that green dollar bill, they're not going to participate in any kind of fight whatsoever. I mean, guys, I've done seen this. I've done come to this conclusion a long time ago that God, family, and country is not enough reason for them to fight. If you're going to get them to fight, you're going to have to pay them, or they're not going to do it. They don't care enough about their constitutional rights. They don't care enough about God. They don't care enough about anything to stand up for it because they're not. They are not. They none. I don't think any of you can prove me wrong. They are not standing up for shit. Okay. Now the liberals, they're out raising hell all the time, but the conservatives are sitting back like a bunch of little bitch boys. They ain't saying nothing because they ain't somebody willing to pay them. And I'll tell you the difference in lifestyles. Okay, you know these 3% prepper guys out here, the lifestyle that they live. Let me explain the difference in between their lifestyle and the last lifestyle. The preppers will go out and they'll buy a bunch, they'll spend their extra money on storable food and ammunition. They'll spend thousands of dollars on guns for one day. All hell breaks loose that they may have to survive. Okay. But see, they're actually getting toys out of this material possession that they can play with and brag about online. I figured this shit out a long time ago. Psychology. They like that lifestyle because they like these guns. They like all these neat toys and these accessories to put on these guns. And they spend a shit ton of money on it. A shit ton. They go out and they work and they spend a shit ton of money on their little prepper style lifestyle. I used to be the same way. I know. Talking from experience. You take the left. They're not like that. No. They live the activism lifestyle. They live the well, what am I trying to say here? The coordination lifestyle. Instead of going out and spending their money on guns, ammunition, and storable food, and camouflage, and all this other shit, they're donating money to these damn radical leftist organizations to push their agenda for them. That's what they're doing with their money, see? And they're coming out and they're protesting or whatever. They're community organizing. That's where they're spending their money. They're up there lobbying the politicians in these state houses. Quit worrying about the damn federal government, people. It ain't the federal government's the one that's yank jerking all your rights away. It's your damn state government. Most people show the intelligence level out here of people. They're not smart enough to figure that out. You can go up there and you can lobby DC and you can stand out there and protest all day long, but DC ain't got a damn thing to do with the state of Ohio jerking your damn gun rights away from you. State of Ohio's got the 10th Amendment. They can pass any damn gun law they want to. And the federal government can't hardly say shit about it. But still yet people go protest in DC when they're losing their guns in Ohio. Yeah. Shows you the intelligence level out here, guys. Not very good. Like I said, that's what the difference between the right and the left and what they're spending their money on. Now, the left is lobbying these politicians and they're giving their money to these damn organizations that's lobbying these politicians. It's passing for all these stricter gun laws and passing for this and passing laws for that. So basically, what the left is doing, they're taking their money and they're using it to make what you're spending your money on worthless or against the law. Think about it. You got one group out here playing 1776 style tactics. You got the other group out here playing 2019 tactics. The left don't need all those guns. They don't need all that storable food because they're getting laws passed against you, make yours worthless and illegal. They don't need to have the physical strength and the brawn. They're using the government to be their physical strength and the brawn. See how that works? They're using the government against you. You tell me who's using their head here and who's not. So, like I said, guys, there's a lot of bad shit going on. It's just like you can't even criticize a black politician without being a racist. Trump called Baltimore pretty much a shithole. Donald Trump's a racist. He made racist comments. There wasn't nothing racist about what he had to say about Baltimore. But they're bringing the racial issue in it. Trump fired back, calling Elijah Cummings a damn racist. Well, Elijah Cummings, old son bitch, is a racist. He is. He is a racist. Most of these black politicians out here are racists. They hate white people. They do. It shows. Because they're the first one to holler racism when there's not even anything racist even on the table. Now, why would you holler racism all the time if you wasn't a damn racist yourself? See, the guilty dog always barks first. You've heard that old saying. People, and that's the communist socialist gig. You accuse other people of what you're guilty of. You put them in the defense of what you're implementing on them yourself. That's exactly what the hell they're doing. I don't think any of y'all can really argue that. So, like I said, I'm just going to probably make a few Facebook videos here and there, guys, from this point on. Dale Brock very much agrees with the same. We'll do a few things here and there, but we're not going to be out doing things like we were. You know, we're just not. because there's just not enough people really interested in fighting for anything anymore. They're just not. They're sitting back waiting on somebody else to do it for them, just like a damn liberal that they throw rocks out at all the time. The liberals expect people to make them a living and to take care of them, and the conservatives expect somebody to do all their fighting for them and shit. But they're both entitled just the same. The more I'm around so-called conservatives, the less I like them, because I see that they're really not what they're claiming they are. They really don't really know what a damn real conservative is. They ain't never been one. I mean, honestly. But most of the liberals, they're not really liberals. They're just downright damn socialists, communists. But they call themselves liberals. See, they ain't really either group really what they claim they are. Actually, the conservatives out here I see today are actually liberals. It's what they are. They're liberals. They're all accepting of all this weird shit out here. And the ones that call themselves liberals are actually damn communists, because they want socialized everything. So not either one of them are what they say they are. They're both full of shit. Well, I know, Deanna, there's a lot of people feeling this way. It ain't just me. So that's the reason, like I said, until America decides, the people in America decides it is time to take a stand, ain't no sense in us doing a whole lot out here. We're just wasting our time if they ain't people willing to come out and join us. This actually be this actually be a movement like it's supposed to be, instead of just a handful of damn patriots doing shit. I mean, this ain't been a movement in a long time, guys. It hadn't. I remember when you could get 300 to 400 people to show up to a damn event. Everybody done lost interest in it, either for one reason or another, either the drama or the whatever, and they're all setting it out. You know, even the churches now, they ain't taking a stand against none of this shit. The people just funnels in these churches just to feel good. They're not Christians. They're not. They're not going to be raptured out of here like they say they are. No, they're not. Because I'm going to tell you guys, if a rapture does happen, it ain't going to be those people that's going to be going. They're going to be sitting right here. Because they've been sitting up there listening to a damn charlatan, snake oil salesman in the pulpit. It's just out there to try to make them feel good. And they leave that church with a good feeling. Every time they leave, and they go right back to the world, and they live the same way they've been living all their life. They don't really change much any at all. And they're all accepting to all this crazy shit going on out here. And they won't say a damn word against it. I don't think those are God's people. I really don't. Okay? Because if you're going to be one of God's people, you're gonna kind of take heed to what God's word is, and you're gonna kind of go along with God's word. And you know, you're going to kind of represent it. These people out here ain't doing that. You know, you want to be a born again Christian? That means you know better. I'm saying it as it is, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, these Christians out here better be glad I'm not the father. But really, does he think much different than anybody else? I mean, we were created in his image. What would I want you to ask yourself, being that you're created in his image, the thinking's probably a little bit similar, just a little bit. Would you like to be sitting down or sitting and watching all this go on, and all these people out here saying that they love you and the son and they serve you, but you don't see nothing out of them but a bunch of crap? Would you rapture these people out of here? Would you save them from what's coming? Honestly, would you? When it's like say you was sitting up there in the kingdom of heaven and watching millions and billions of people out here professing that they serve you and the Son, Jesus Christ, and they don't never take a stand against any of this crap that's going on out here, and they're listening to a charlatan behind a pulpit. They won't even pick up your word and read it. They let him explain it to them what it's supposed to mean. And they all leave the church all feeling good, and they all going against everything that you pretty much want them to go by. The whole time they're professing your name. The whole time they're professing Jesus' name. Would you want to rapture them people out of here? Would they be worthy to sit in the kingdom of heaven with you? Think about that. I mean, we're all parents. Most of y'all out here watching me right now is fathers. How far would you let your kids slide before you finally cut them off? How far could your kids turn against you before you cut ties with them? I know a lot of you out here right now watching me right now is cut ties with your kids because they went against you in every way, strung out on drugs or whatever, being very disrespectful to you, whatever it may be. What was enough for you to cut your ties with them, being your father? You think the Father in heaven's any different? We're all his children. Think about that. You better. I don't think a lot of people really puts much thought in that. I do. I put a lot of thought in that, guys. A lot of thought in it. But you know what? Before people really starts may probably coming to realization of that, it may be too late. May be too late to them. Their fate may be already sealed. Because guys, when you're a born again Christian, you get baptized, get saved. You're supposed to repent from all this crap, and you're supposed to change your life and not go back to that life that you were living before. Think about that, because you know better. You've been saved. You know better. Yeah, you may backslide a little bit here and there, but you know better than to go right back to that crap. How many times is you gonna be able to go back to that crap before the ties is cut? Another thing people better think about too, because you got to understand from the beginning of time until the end of time, God's going to have His chosen people. That's going to be a hell of a lot of people. He can afford to be choosy and only accept His most devout ones that showed Him the respect and love that He asked for. Because there's going to be a lot of them out there that never did. So He's going to be able to afford to be choosy. Remember that. Well, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. We'll catch y'all later. I got stuff to do, so I may be back on tomorrow, next week, sometime. I'll be back, but I'm just not gonna be probably making videos near as often as I was. So we'll catch y'all later, y'all. God bless.